Hey everybody, Sarah here. So, let's talk about that game on Sunday. Um, I, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I almost got the score right. I did. I can't remember if I said 2-0 or 2-1. I think I said 2-0. I don't think I said. I think I said 2-1 the game before. But and I can't remember who I said. Oh, I can't remember who I said for who would score. I can't remember if I. Oh, did I say it was going to be 3-0? I think I said it might be 2-0 or 3-0. And I think I said two Kane goals and a Saka goal, or a Kane goal and a Saka goal, or a Kane goal and a Bellingham goal. I can't remember which I said. I remember saying Saka, but for some reason, and I remember saying Kane because I always say Kane, but I can't remember if I said Bellingham. But that game was just I don't even know. I really don't even know where to start. Um, yeah, so um, I get confused between Slovakia and Slovenia. It was Slovakia the other day. Whoever they were playing anyway. No, I'm gonna check because that's gonna annoy me otherwise. Slovakia. Yeah, Slovenia was the game before. Um, the game they played before. I mean, um, yeah. So the first goal even um was scored by Slovakia. I can't remember the name of the player, and I was like, oh, here we go. But I was like, well, England are gonna come back. They're gonna score. And I think it was in the second half that Foden scored. I think that is the second time Foden scored and it was offside. Like the second, Foden again was offside when he scored a goal. Um, yeah. So he scored that goal, but then he was offside, so that was um chalked off. So I saw when he scored that, I was like, oh yes, come on, he finally scored. And then obviously it was offside, so they got rid of that. Like I said, they chalked that off. And yeah, it was like got you know, it was just going on and on and on. And then it went down to it was getting close to 90 minutes, and I was thinking, oh God, I can see this now. England going home, Gareth Southgate not being manager anymore. Um, and I'm somebody who is a huge Harry Kane fan. I mean, I'm a huge England fan, obviously, but I'm a huge Harry Kane fan. And I don't know how many of them are out there, but I am one of those people that that do, that does stick up for and support him the whole time. I support Gareth Southgate. I don't care what the hell anybody else says. And I know I really just sounded quite passionate about that, but I don't give a effing toss what anybody else out there thinks of him. He's a human bloody being, for fuck's sake. Sorry about swearing, but that's how passionate I am about it. You know, some of the stuff I actually read today, I don't know if it was from an England fan or not, but I was like, wow, he's a human being. Sort your bloody self out, will you? Not Southgate, I mean, whoever said whatever I read earlier. Yeah, so I was like, he's not gonna have his job anymore. Um, England are gonna be out. This was like the 90th minute or 89 minutes and however many seconds. And then obviously they said there was like 5, 6 minutes added on. So I was like, oh, we got a bit longer, we got a bit longer. But then it was getting close to like the end of that 4 or 5 minutes of extra time. Um, and like I think I was literally sitting there like I think I was sitting there like, oh, we really go, like that. And then there was that. I think there was a. I can't even remember like what happened before it. That's the only thing. I think from the clips I've seen, I think it was Kyle Walker that threw it in. Somebody I think must have knocked it. I can't remember who it was. One of the England players, I think. Like I said, leading up to that goal, I was like, oh, not even focusing anymore. Um, yeah. So Kyle Walker threw it in. I think it looked like Kyle Walker anyway from the clips I've seen back. Um, I want to say it was Gay or someone who knocked it a bit towards where it ended up going. And then there was the bicycle kick from um, Jude Bellingham. And I just remember seeing the way he went and kicked it, and I was like, hang on, what's going on? And then it went in. It's like, I can't remember what happened before that, but something must have made me look that when actually, something made me look that I actually saw it when he actually, like, literally went up and then hit the ball. So I saw it before the goal actually happened, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and then that went in, and I was like, oh my God, we're not actually, well, I mean, we still could have gone out, but at that point I was like, oh my God, we literally were seconds away from getting knocked out of the Euros. And then that happened. So we're gonna go into extra time, like add an extra time. We were already in extra time, but you know what I mean. We added extra time, an extra 30 minutes, like 15 minutes each way. So I was like, I don't care if we're going into the added extra time. We're still in the blooming game. So and well, I know I'm not the only one, but my heart was like, I was shaking because I was like, oh my God, we went from like going home to like suddenly back up again. It was like a roller coaster. Well, I think didn't Prince William actually like post a message or something saying absolute roller coaster or something like that. Um, yeah, so that happened. So it was 1-1. It went into added extra time. So obviously there were, I say a bit of a break. It wasn't like a half time amount of time break. It was like a couple of minutes, if that. I'm not sure. Um, I wasn't even focusing on what the time was when they had that break. Yeah, so that happened. Um, and then the first half of the added extra time started. And then before I could even like realize, not before I realized it started again, because I knew it started again, but before you could even get comfortable again to get ready to watch this first half of added extra time, there was literally was it a corner to whoever it was, to Ivan Toney, who kicked it or knocked it or whatever towards Kane, who headed it into the goal. Literally less than a minute into the added extra time, Kane scored. And I was like, where the hell was this before? No, beforehand. Like in the first night in the whole 90 minutes. Um, yeah, so they scored that, or Kane scored that, so it was 2-1. I was like, just please don't let the other team get a goal in, please. Um, and then it they almost got a goal in, but this is near the end of the added extra time now. Pickford, um, was it Pickford scored the? No, he didn't score the goal. He caught the ball, and he was like down on the floor, and you could see him like I can't remember his reaction now, but he was like, we're through, like all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, blow the bloody whistle. Just blow the bloody whistle. And do you know what? I've never been so glad to hear Sweet Caroline in my life. Oh, so we've got Switzerland on Saturday, and I'm just hoping that that fright is like, I think I read it somewhere as well. Like people hope that that fright is like it kickstarted. Oh, it was not kickstarted. The like what you call it, not knock some sense into them, but you know what I mean. Like give them that oomph they need to like what you call it to get play well like they normally do. I mean, if they can play like they did in that added extra time, or from Jude's kick all the way through to the end of the game, if they can do that, they'll beat Switzerland and Turkey or Netherlands. But mm. And the funny thing is, I was reading something on the Daily Mail. I think it was. Well, it wasn't just. It was on the Daily Mail, but it was through in like the betting things, and it was going on about of all the teams that are left in the tournament, England's the favourites. Still, I mean, they were to start with, but I think during this thing, maybe like third favourite. Actually, they did actually go down to third favourites. Now they're back up to favourites again. So oh, I fingers crossed. I'm not getting ahead of myself. But anyway, Saturday, 2-0. Oh, what should I say? 2-1. 2-0, 2-1. Oh, 2. Oh, I don't know. It'll either be 2-0 or 2-1 to England, obviously. Be Kane and Bellingham or Kane and Saka. Oh, is Saka? It'll definitely be a Kane goal. Maybe a Saka goal, maybe a Bellingham goal. Don't know about Foden because every time Foden bloody scores, he's offside. So yeah. So 2-0 or 2-1 to England. Definitely a Kane. Maybe two Kane goals. Or it could be Kane and Bellingham or Kane and Saka. So let's hope when I make a video on Monday. I was going to make a video yesterday, and then I ended up falling asleep. So that's why I'm making it today. But yeah, my video for that will probably be on Monday, and it hopefully be saying England are in the semi-final. Hopefully, I'm thinking positively. I mean, they were that close to getting knocked out the other day that if they can do that when they're all about to get knocked out, but please don't leave it until the last minute this time, please. Um, yeah. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.